Alrighty, I'm officially live. I'm gonna ensure that y'all can hear me. And there is certain things I want to mention as well. Hope y'all can hear me because, the sound is on. And St. Gwyneth, I have 510 subs. I checked earlier. And it's something y'all aren't gonna necessarily like. 10 subs. I checked earlier. And it's something I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick because my kidneys was hurting yesterday. My right one because I hold it, and I'm pretty sure because of the toxins. And hold on, I gotta release it real quick. Give me a minute. What?
Tomorrow? Actually, no. I'm playing wrestling tomorrow.
Okay, because I got...
Actually, no. Wrestling, Fortnite, and GTA tomorrow.
Okay.
Actually, not Fortnite because no one's gonna talk. Just besides that.
Excuse me. Kane is calling. Just about to tell him I'm streaming, so...
I'm not calling him. He's gonna be annoying.
He calls you annoying.
Can you answer him really quick and tell him that I can call him right now?
You can't?
I could call him. Just tell him to give me a minute. Just answer and tell him. Give me
Okay.
a minute.
It didn't pop up. Okay. I won't join, so... Okay. Okay. I won't join, so... Alright, chat. This is very, important, and I was very pissed earlier at my... instructor. Excuse me, chat. And... yeah, it's my instructor, chat. Which her name is Christy. And obviously, YouTube's gonna keep it private what I specifically mentioned, and they're doing great. And Jack, if you're watching it, because I know you're a sub, and I'm not gonna say exactly what exactly happened, but I mean, he's typically busy, chat. But if you're watching, I know you're not the one who went to my instructor and all that, because obviously you're not the type of snitch. But I don't necessarily want any issues with her, and I know you're not gonna be the type to mention to her. So just please don't, bruh. I know you won't. I know you won't. I'm just saying. Because apparently she was mentioning that she was having a conversation with you, and I'm like, I was like, quite curious, chat. Like, was he in a meeting? And yeah, that's one of my subs. I was like, was he in a meeting, like, in the Parks and Recs meeting? And every state is referred to as Parks and Recs. It's not something like a personal business. And who cares if I mention a business name? So anyway, Christy and my skills trainer named Stephanie. And obviously, YouTube's gonna keep it private what I specifically mentioned. I'm just gonna say their first name. I'm not gonna say their last name. Well, because if you do, then if they find it and they're gonna be like, oh, so you're talking shit about me, and then I won't get hired because I want to work at the parks. And I'm gonna have a chat with Jack. I'm not gonna chat about it on here, like saying like, Jack, if you're watching this, and I'll just mention it, because this is gonna be between me and him off of my stream, you know. I mean, I want you all to know, but this is between me and my homie. But anyway, so apparently she pulled me in the room, and I was so pissed. She pulled me in the room because apparently she mentioned that. So this was caught to my attention overall, or just to her attention. Hold up. See me, chat. And my nose was bleeding earlier, but I'll explain a bit about that afterwards. And then we'll continue with the 16, 17, 18. Sorry. Because I already explained about like what I did when I was 15, so I feel like 16, 17, 18 would seem reasonable. And then afterward, I can just, you know. So apparently, someone heard me and Jack's conversation, because apparently she mentioned Jack Chaucer, and I'm like, Jack's not the type to snitch, so why would it be him? So I'm gonna chat with him, eyes on PlayStation, but I may have to end my stream, or actually, I don't have to end it. I'm gonna meet myself on stream while continuing playing and chatting with him. Huh? No, nothing. No, it was earlier. In the morning, before I was on the bus. That's why I was a bit late as well, but anyway, I'll explain about that afterwards, chat. But anyway, yeah, that's the whole point, Valty. It's okay. She was like, what exactly happened? I was like, my nose was bleeding. But I'll explain it afterwards. So yeah, apparently she's like, I've noticed you've been... Gee, my throat. I hate mucus buildup. She's like, we've noticed... Because her and Stephanie, she's like, we've noticed you've been chatting about something sexual with Jack. And I'm like... About what exactly? And she's like, about how you want kids and you want to adopt kids, meaning like, oh, I want kids because that's all I was mentioning about sex. And then about wanting to adopt kids, but it's just like adopting overall. And then I explained to her, oh, I want to have intercourse, and I'm a calm shot type of guy. Well, it took quite a while for me to process, and she expected me to process it immediately, and I'm like, because I didn't want to admit what I have, you know, my traumatic situation, because, you know, my stress and anxiety is specifically associated with my traumatic situation, because, you know, it takes quite a while for me to process, and I'm like, I can't think of it off the top of my head, because that's what I would say, instead of mentioning, oh, it'll take quite a while for me to process, instead of repeating it, I would just be like, yeah, I can't think of it off the top of my head, and she's like, forcing me, and I'm like, she's old-fashioned, strict, and exploitive. I just don't like it, chat. And she mentioned if I search your YouTube channel up, and I'm like, shit. Because when I do put my first name or last name, my channel pops up. So I'm going to possibly search my name in a bit, and I'm hoping that... I'm going to mention, could you possibly just search my Instagram or Facebook? Because there's nothing inappropriate on there. And plus, sex is not inappropriate. It's inappropriate depending on how you use it. Like, for example, like... Hey, do you want to have sex at work? That is permitted. Or prohibited, not permitted. Permitted meaning you're able to. Prohibited meaning you can't. Meaning if you do it at work, you're distracting yourself. And that's actually a sin / illegal. Because... see me, chat. Because you're lusting, you just want to choose sex over love, and it can either be romance or just love towards your brothers and sisters through Christ, to God Almighty Jesus Christ. And I'm like to myself, that you can talk about it. I feel like because that's a sinful / illegal policy that they shouldn't necessarily allow. Like, that would be illegal to allow that. Like, by the government, for example, through God Almighty Jesus Christ, the federal government of the U.S., through God Almighty Jesus Christ, you're allowed to talk about it. You just can't say it to a female coworker. And she's saying, oh, he's not your friend. Obviously he is. He's a human being, and we have our rights to be friends. What about back then? You weren't even alive. Even though I wasn't. I mean, you never know. Well, Obviously, I wasn't. You can like back then people chat about sex. I bet because coworker means my partner worker, someone I work with as my partner, as a friend. They are your friend. A coworker means someone who works with you, like you work together, like friends, but you work together. And then, and then she wanted me. I am doing great overall, but I was pissed earlier, and I'm actually chatting about it. That's cool, man. What opportunity you have exactly? Just know we're gonna have to possibly roleplay tomorrow, man. You do realize whenever I'm busy, roleplays are typically during the weekend, and I'm hoping it's tomorrow because I have nothing to do. But I may have to head to Yeah, but what opportunity did you get? Like, what job did you find overall, or are you saying like you found something that you're interested in? See me chat. Not at the moment, AZ. Just give me a minute. My bad for not calling you that day. I was calling my homie, and then afterwards I was just busy. No, not at all. But I'm currently busy chatting about something that I want to get off my chest. So, AZ, call me afterward. Don't even call. And we've chatted about it as well. You can't spam call either, and you understand, so it's all good. I just wanted to ensure you understand, because sometimes you forget. No offense, but you know. But yeah, you could talk about sex at work. If let's say for example, I worked at a bank, or I was the owner of the bank, I was the manager. Yeah, you can chat about that afterwards, AZ. Just hold that thought. I'm hoping you could, you know. Like if it was my own business, my own bank, like you could chat about sex at work with your partner, possibly with anybody because they're your friends. But if it's something where you have to be aware, then chat about it when it's the right time, just so you don't get distracted or, you know. It's all good, AZ. Just let me talk, let me chat with my viewers. And another thing is, yeah, she wanted me to delete his number, Jack's number, and I did not appreciate it. But my friend, which is my homie's girl, Riva, his girl Riva, that's her name. Obviously, YouTube's gonna keep it private what I specifically mentioned about her or whatever. But she figured out and she helped me out on how to recover someone's phone number and text message. Because if you want to get their number back, you have to recover the text message. And I got his number back. And that policy is stupid. You obviously can have their number. That's how you can communicate immediately, you know. If you're not with them in person, because that's just because of how far distance we are, unfortunately, within the sinful / fallen state / version of the world, so it's unfortunate. But then she checked her and I conversation, because I was showing him the alcohol I had, because remember I was on my dad's Insta page, and you know, just looking through the memories and all that, and you know, I was gonna show, like, hey, I want to show him the alcohol I was drinking when I was 16, because you know, I was very responsible. I'm mentally mature / mentally an adult, like, you know, official adulthood, like, you know, fully independent, fully responsible, you know, have full responsibility and full legal responsibility. And I feel like it's 7+. I mentioned on my recent live stream, 18+ is going to be removed. Because remember how I mentioned that you can't assume that for 18+, and I've already explained that. But for 7+, you know for a fact, like from the age of 7 and beyond, just like how from the age of 18 and beyond, they assume that, you know, and they can't legalize adulthood. You know for a fact because mentally you know you are. Like 7+ from the age of 7 and beyond. And you can't legalize it, you just know for a fact. But the things that you can legally do, like vote, sign a contract, open a bank, that's to legally do it, but you're not legally an adult, like legal adulthood. Like you can't legalize something, you know. You just know for a fact, but you can have access. Because the word legally means you are righteously allowed. Like if you're under 7, they would be exploiting you, and you wouldn't know for a fact that you are. But if you're 7+, even if they exploit you, you would know for a fact, and you would have to mention to them, I'm very responsible, and I would know for a fact whether you're exploiting me or not, and that I have my rights to make my own decisions. Because your parents can't tell you what to do. They can only provide rules, like for example, see me chat. They can provide rules that is a socialist God of my Jesus Christ, and they can only foster you. They can't make decisions for you. You make decisions for yourself. The only time they could make decisions for you if you're under 7 because they don't want you to feel exploited when you don't know for sure if you're exploited or not. And your parents can't exploit you. Like, for example, my brother is 4, and he's gonna be 7 in, like... on exactly year 2028, but 2029 is when he would be 7. Or I can remove 18 plus next year because one of my, or some of my, there's gonna be some age changes. Because I've mentioned on my recent live stream that I'm gonna remove all age requirement laws on exactly the year 2035 while I'm president at exactly 30 years old, and while my homie Farhan is president at exactly 32 years old. Not president, vice president at exactly 32 years old. And yeah, I mentioned that I'm going to remove all age requirement laws on exactly the year 2035 and ensuring it's permanently illegal / sinful to create, or excuse me, to enforce any age requirement laws overall. Excuse me, chat. And then how I'm going to choose like a perfect age, especially the ones I specifically mentioned in my recent live streams. Like that seems perfect and perfect for society, you know. And, you know, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily, you know what I mean? Like, you know, in terms of the motherfucking bitch-ass current laws, like, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily, like, regardless of our chronological age and regardless of our mental maturity. Especially the chronological ages I specifically mentioned with my recent live streams. You know, the perfect ages I'm gonna choose for our society, you know? Like, make it perfect for society. You know, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily, you know? But hold on, give me a minute. Actually, I'm back. I was thinking about something personal. But overall, you know, it's, yeah, 7 plus. But overall, I was gonna make some age changes. Or some are gonna be removed or whatever. Before I remove all of them on exactly year 2035, because I'm gonna lower some on exactly year 2029, I've already explained, to prove that people are mentally mature overall, like mentally mature / mentally an adult. And, on exactly year 2035, I'm gonna remove all age requirement laws. But I'm hoping, because there's gonna be, I'm gonna possibly consider an impeachment where you, like, can remove the president from office, because there's certain things I don't necessarily like about Trump. I mean, I like the things that he is humble about, but I just don't necessarily like majority of the things or whatever. But, I mean, he's compared to Kamala Harris, like, fuck her. She's gonna abuse power and all that. And I would prefer Erica Kirk or possibly JD Vance. Or, like, another female president, possibly my future daughter. Hold on, let me see what I overall mentioned. Hold up. Or possibly JD Vance. Hold on, give me a minute. My homie texted me. Oh, my lady friend. Okay, let me see what I mentioned, like... is not inappropriate. It's inappropriate... / illegal policy that they shouldn't necessarily allow. Like, that would be illegal to allow that. Like, by the government, for example, Sugadama Jesus Christ, the federal government of the... obviously he's a human being, and... to chat about sex. I bet when... because co-worker means my part... had to yeah, but what opportunity did you get? Like, what job? Angel girl's Reva, his girl Reva, that's her name. Obviously YouTube's gonna keep it private when to get their number back. You have to recover the text message in person because that's just because of how far distance we are, unfortunately, within the city and full legal responsibility. And I feel like it's 7+. I'm of the world, so it's unfortunate. But then she checked her and I conversation because I was showing him the alcohol I had. Because remember, I was on my dad's Insta page, and just looking through the memories and all that. And I was gonna show, like, hey, I want to show him the alcohol I was drinking when I was 16. Because I was very responsible. I'm mentally mature / but you're not legally an adult, like legal adulthood. Like, you can't legalize something. Vote. But if you're 7+, even if they exploit you, you would know. They can provide rules that is a socialist God in my Jesus Christ, and they can only foster. Or there's gonna be some age changes, because I've mentioned on my recent live stream that I'm gonna remove all age requirement laws on exact next year, because there's gonna be some age changes on exactly year 2028. On exact. But yeah, cause and she was mentioning me, oh, my dad can get into legal trouble. I feel like at home you're allowed to do it. The 21 shit, they just made it because they think people get drunk at the bar or think that they're mentally immature through Satan, when overall people are mentally mature through God Almighty Jesus Christ, even though they're not 21. Like, I feel like the 21 shit shouldn't necessarily be a thing. Like, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily, you know. Like, I feel like, because I mentioned it's going to be either 11 or 12, and possibly make an exception for some individuals, for both boys / men's and girls / women's. Like, if 10, 9, and 8 to make an exception. Like, when you go through puberty, but it's going to possibly be 11 or 12 and beyond that age, like, plus that for alcohol or anything I mentioned. Those are going to be the perfect ages, but and I've already chatted about like all the perfect ages, but there's going to be a bit of a change because excuse me, chat. Because not all individuals who are 8, 9, and 10 are going through puberty. I mean, I started puberty when I was 10, but I feel like if you start puberty and have a growth spurt, it will be very different. So and the word man is associated with boys, meaning you are mentally mature / mentally an adult, like official adulthood. Like, fully independent, fully responsible, full responsibility, and full legal responsibility, like 7+, from the age of 7 and beyond that. Because for a fact, unlike 18+, like from 18 years old and beyond that, they assume that. But for 7+, from 7 years old and beyond, you don't necessarily assume that. You know for a fact, and you can't legalize it. You can't legalize adulthood or legal adult. Like, you can't necessarily legalize that, It's not something like legal that, You don't legal that. You just know for a fact, like, mentally, So for 7+, from the age of 7 and beyond that, it's not gonna necessarily be legalized compared to like 18+. Because I mentioned my recent life, I'm gonna remove the 18+ shit. So let's say, for example, I made plenty of changes on exactly year 2029 and plenty of changes on exactly year 2035. You would just know for a fact that right when you're 18, like from 7+, from like 7 years old and beyond that, like all the way to 18 and just beyond that overall. But if you were 18 during that time, it would just feel like you just lived for that many years. It wouldn't, like, you would be done with puberty, but that's like overall, and your brain would have enlarged enough, it would have been like the exact size it has enlarged to, like the size it's meant to be from when you were born, for your brain being fully formed and fully developed after birth. See me, chat. Yeah, for your brain being fully formed and fully developed after birth. And then 7+, from like, when you're 7 years old and then beyond that, your brain would have enlarged enough where it had made plenty of room for plenty of neurons, like, especially the prefrontal cortex, because they had all formed.
Hey, which one of my skills is required? No problem. I'll get them off your back.
Because they all fully formed and fully developed after birth, but 7+. you're like aware of your mental maturity. So I would refer to as the Adam and Eve law. Well, unfortunately, I can't. I'll just refer to it as the mental maturity awareness law, but not the Adam and Eve law, because I was gonna, because of sex and pregnancy, but unfortunately, you have to go through puberty. Compared to how Adam and Eve didn't, they just were. It was perfect for them, and there was no necessarily issues for Adam and Eve. Like Adam had a perfect dick size, and Eve had a perfect uterus size. Because Eve's vagina was small and tight. And I've already mentioned about Adam and Eve, And obviously, YouTube's gonna keep it private what I specifically mentioned about that, because I don't want my instructor and skills trainer to know. But it's not like y'all gonna necessarily care, Jeez! Oh my gosh! Imagine blood occurred. I'm pretty sure in real life it possibly could if you were to do that. But that would be sinful / illegal to consider doing that shit,
Asshole! Motherfucker! You about to...
See me chat.
No way.
Jeez. That was like an impact apparently. But you know what I'm referring to, chat.
Hey, how can I help? I'll be keeping my eye on you. Goodbye.
Oh, I'm not able to. I'm just gonna possibly get killed. Actually, I'm gonna head towards the tunnel. Get into the habit. It's gonna take off in the process, but But overall, like, my dad's not gonna get into legal trouble. Oh, because I'm not 21. Like, bro, you're doing it at home. Like, at the public, that's different. But, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily, Hold on, I'm gonna see where I left off afterwards. Hold up. Actually, let them kill me. I just gotta get shit off my chest, so. Plus, it's gonna take quite a while for me to process, so I gotta see where I left off. Who'll give a shit if my car is impounded? Cause they're bitches. And it can only get impounded if you're like in prison, like, Exactly, 32 years old. Not president, but... See, it's there. Hello? They're bitches. And it can only get impounded if you're like in prison, like, Exactly, 32 years old. But yeah, cause one of my, or some of my, there's gonna be some age changes. I feel like at home you're allowed to do it. The 21 shit, they just made it because they think people get drunk at the bar or think that they're mentally immature through Satan, when overall people. And I've already chatted about like all the perfect ages, but the full responsibility and full legal responsibility, it's not something like. That. Or legal adult, like you can't necessarily legalize that, It's not something like legal that, You don't legal that. You just know for a fact, like mentally, legalize that, It's not something like legal that, You don't legal that. You just know for a fact, like mentally, So for Leisure 2029 and plenty of changes on Exact Leisure 2035. You would just know for a fact that right when you're 18, like from 7+, from like 7 years old and beyond that, like all the way to 18 and just beyond that overall. But if you were 18 during that time, it would just feel like you just lived for that many years. It wouldn't. Like, you would be done with puberty, but that's, like, overall, And your brain would have enlarged enough, it would have been, like, the exact size it has enlarged to. Like, the size it's meant to be. Hold on, Valentina. Born for your brain being fully formed and fully developed after birth, See me chat. Yeah, for your brain being fully formed and fully developed after birth. And then 1.7 plus from like, you know, when you're 7 years old and then beyond that, your brain enlarged enough where it had made plenty of room for plenty of neurons, like, you know, especially the prefrontal cortex, because they had all formed.
Hey, which one of my skills is required? No problem. I'll get them off your back.
Because they all fully formed and fully developed after birth, but 1.7 plus, you're like aware of your mental maturity. So I would refer to it as the Adam and Eve law. Well, unfortunately I can't. I would just refer to it as the mental maturity awareness law, but not the Adam and Eve issues for Adam and Eve. Like Adam had a perfect dick side. What? But it's not like. Valentina, hold up.
You don't even know what it is.
Jeez.
Hold up. No, you don't even know it.
Jeez.
It's not a business idea.
She it is. Imagine blood occurred. I'm pretty sure in real life.
Hey, how can I help? I'll be keeping my eye on you. Goodbye.
Oh, I'm not able to. I'm just impossible to get killed. My dad's not gonna get. Because you're doing that shit, you know. Because I don't want my instructor and skills trainer to know. Because I don't want my instructor and skills trainer to know. Formed and fully developed after birth.
Required.
That's
No problem. I'll get them off your back.
because they all fully formed and fully developed after birth, but 1.7 plus. You're like aware of your mental maturity. So I would refer to it as the Adam and Eve law. Instructor and skills trainer to know. Aware of your mental maturity. So like, I would just refer to it as the mental maturity awareness law, meaning like you're aware of it, but for like anything that you're legally allowed to do, whatever. But for the Adam and Eve law, not really, Chad. So, yeah, not really. Yo. Ooh, there's a pumpkin here. But, like, vision isolated. Yo, what is good? Who is this exactly? If you don't mind me asking. Cause, like, cause, fucking kidding me? But,
Hey, what's going on?
I don't know if I
Give me
have
a
enough
call
money.
back when simple decisions don't freak you out so much.
Clearly I have to get killed again because I want to talk about what I want to talk about. I'm still figuring out what I left off. Hold up, chat. Hold on, let me see where I left off. Hold up, chat. Like, you know, fully independent, you know, fully responsible, full responsibility, and full legal responsibility, like 7 plus from the age of 7 and beyond that. Because you know for a fact, unlike 18 plus, like from 18 years old and beyond that, they assume that. But for 7 plus from 7 years old and beyond, you don't necessarily assume that. You know for a fact, and you can't legalize it. Hold up, chat. Yo, where you been, Dakota?
Yo, where you been, Dakota? Fuck. Bearish.
My bad. If anybody was chatting or isolated, whoever just could you possibly repeat that chat again?
You just know for a fact, like, mentally, mentally mature / mentally an adult.
Oh my gosh, kidding me? And the cops left my ass either way.
Yo, where you been, Dakota?
Skills is required.
No, be responsible for mentally like, if, 10, 9, and 8 individuals for both boys / but, and I've already chatted about, like, all the perfect ages, but there's gonna be a bit of a change because, let me check. Because not all individuals who are 8, 10, but I feel like if you start puberty and have a growth spurt, it will be very different. So, boys / men's and girls / women's. Like, 10, 9, and 8 to make an exception. Like when you go through puberty, but it's gonna possibly be 11 or 12 and beyond that age, like plus that for alcohol or anything I mentioned. Those are gonna be the perfect ages, but and I've already chatted about like all the perfect ages, but there's gonna be a bit of a change because let me check. Because not all individuals who are 8, 9, and 10 are going through puberty. I mean, I started puberty when I was 10, but I feel like if you start puberty and have a growth spurt, it will be very
Yeah, because I hit my growth spurt when I was like 11 or 12, so that's the thing, apparently.
different. So, and the word man is associated with boys, meaning you are mentally mature / mentally an adult, like official adulthood. Like, fully independent, fully responsible, full responsibility and full legal responsibility, like 7+ from the age of 7 and beyond that. Because for a fact, unlike 18+, like from 18 years old and beyond that, they assume that. But for 7+ from 7 years old and beyond.
And women associated with girls is the same exact thing as well, of what I mentioned for boys, or like man associated with boys, like that, like the word overall, Oh, apparently the moon is out. That's cool. Or like not out. Why does certain people mention out? I meant like it's visible, like you're able to see. I'm not able to see the moon, or you're able to because anybody could see it,
And then,
depending on where you're at
you
overall.
don't necessarily assume that. You know for a fact, and you can't legalize it. You can't legalize adulthood or legal adult. Like you can't necessarily legalize that. It's not something like legal that.
Yeah, because from 7 years old and beyond that, you don't legalize it. You know for a fact. You don't say, oh, legal adulthood, legally an adult. Like, that's mentality. For a fact. You don't legalize that. For the 18+ shit, like, from 18 years old and beyond that, they just assume that, and then they just legalize that. Like, oh, like, you're that. Like, they assume that. In terms of, like, having access to these things. No, it's 7+. From the age of 7 and beyond that, you don't legalize it. You just know for a fact. Voting, opening a bank account, and whatever, being able to make your own decision. And the things that require puberty that you are legally allowed to do is have your own place, if you're like 8, 9, or 10, to make exception for certain individuals, like both boys and girls, or typically 11 or 12, to own your own house, join a military, like be enlisted without being like forced, like not being exploited, like you're not taking advantage. It's like an option to whether you want to join the military or not, for both boys and girls, like boys / men's and girls / women's, And anything that requires like physical strength that you have to go through puberty. But yeah, for like yes, unfortunately, go through puberty, so The Adam and Eve law, no, that's not gonna be a thing for 7+. Possibly mental maturity awareness, you know. So.
Go that. You just know for a fact, like mentally, you know. So for 7+, from the age of 7 and beyond that, it's not gonna necessarily be legalized compared to like 18+. Because I meant my recent license, I'm gonna remove the 18+ shit. So let's say, for example, I made plenty of changes on Exactly Easier 2029 and plenty of changes on Exactly Easier 2035. You would just know for a fact that right when you're 18, like from 7+, from like 7 years old and beyond that, like all the way to 18 and just beyond that overall. But if you were 18 during that time, it would just feel like you just lived for that many years. It wouldn't, like, you would be done with puberty, but that's like overall, you know. And your brain would have enlarged enough, it would have been like the exact size it has enlarged to. Like the size it's meant to be. From when you were born. For your brain being fully formed and fully developed after birth, you know. Let me check. Yeah, for your brain being fully formed and fully developed after birth. And then when 7+, from like, you know, when you're 7 years old and then beyond that, your brain would have enlarged enough where it had made plenty of room for plenty of neurons, like, you know, especially the prefrontal cortex, because they had all formed.
Hey, which one of my skills is required? No problem. I'll get them off your back.
Because they all fully formed and fully developed after birth, but when 7+, you're like aware of your mental maturity. So I would refer to it as the Adam and Eve law. Well, unfortunately I can't. I'll just refer to it as the mental maturity awareness law, but not the Adam and Eve law, because I was gonna, you know, because of sex and pregnancy, but unfortunately you have to go through puberty compared to how Adam and Eve didn't. They just were, it was perfect for them, and there was no necessarily issues for Adam and Eve. Like Adam had a perfect dick size, and Eve had a perfect uterus size.
Like Adam like was medium, but like smallish medium, like not what some guys have, where testosterone go crazy through Satan, and not necessarily through God Almighty Jesus Christ, where it's like a perfect size. Like it was able to penetrate, but wasn't too huge or too small. You know, it was like smallish medium, quite like mine, I would say, but I ain't gonna say the exact size, because I ain't gonna get into too much details about myself, because some people be like, ugh, I'm feeling uncomfortable about the YouTuber himself talking about this, about himself, compared to, like, other topics about guys' size or whatever. But anyway, I ain't gonna talk about that. I'm just saying, like, compared to mine, like, compare Adam's to mine, you know. But anyway, I ain't gonna mention much. But obviously, YouTube's gonna keep you private what I specifically mentioned, because I want this job, and my instructor mentioned if we find out about this, I won't get a job, and that's stupid. Like, okay, you're talking about YouTube, you ain't talking about it like it's just like God, but a God that sinned. Like someone created sin, and that's God, but obviously he didn't. So we know Satan created it, but God Almighty Jesus Christ didn't, and he gave him the free will to either be the one to create sin or to not. So people were blaming God Almighty Jesus Christ, and that's simply because Satan wants people to blame him. And that's where sin gets in, or interferes, or occurs, you know. Well, occurs and interfere, you know. Anyway.
Because Eve's vagina was small and tight.
Yeah, hers was small and tight. I mean, it makes sense. Like, from 7 years old to before you start puberty, it's like small and tight. But hers was perfect size. It was a bit medium. Actually, no, it was small and tight, but the thing is, her uterus size was perfect. And that's the whole point why, like, how she got pregnant. So yeah, that's the whole point why 7+ is unfortunate. So it's going to be like during puberty. But typically 11 or 12. Because you have to hit a growth spurt. And she was like 4'8", which was like a perfect height for Adam and Eve. But like, for girls like within their mortal body, like those who are temporarily physically a kid/child within their mortal body, you would have to wait until you go through puberty, and typically 11 or 12 is when you can be able to have sex in pregnancy, or pregnancy. What about before puberty? I mean, if it's safe, then it could possibly be like 7+, like if you have the urge to. But for pregnancy, I would say wait, until 11 or 12 typically. But to make an exception, it will be for some individuals who are 10, 9, or 8, like certain boys and girls, like boys slash men's and girls slash women's, you know. Oh my goodness, here we go again with them. I don't know if they like it, AZ. But hold up, AZ, let me finish up what I'm mentioning. Oops, the car stopped. Let me finish up what I'm mentioning, and then we'll consider, like, then you can consider calling me. Just give me a minute. Yep. Oh no, here we go again. That's that thing, you know. But, you know, it was perfect, you know, for her. But that's all I wanted to mention. So if you want to do it, like, safely, you could, but if there's a chance where the white stuff, you know, the calm goes in, then I would say typically puberty, you know. Just give me a minute, AZ. I ain't gonna mention how long. Like I mentioned, it's gonna take for me to process to, like, how long it would be. So just wait patiently, But yeah, so typically like 11 or 12. Once I make plenty of changes on exactly year 2029 and plenty of changes on exactly year 2035, you know? So, you know, might as well. Because you know how it's 18 plus for now? Or how some states, like mine, is like 16 plus? Where, like, you know, Romeo and Juliet, in some states like 14 plus, and some states close in age shit. All of those are temporarily, especially the 18 plus shit. Because potentially it's going to be 7 plus, like from that age, 7 years old and beyond that. You know? But for sex and pregnancy, it's possibly going to be 11 or 12. Because like God of my Jesus Christ, he started preaching again in the temple at 12. So that's why it's either 11 or 12 when it comes to it. But physical activity like sex or pregnancy. But just be aware that there's going to be no rape and exploitation during that time. So don't be like, oh my gosh, why are you allowing younger individuals to do that shit? That's why people say, hear me out, you know. But for now, you can't. 2029, to beyond that, to 2035 and beyond that, you possibly could. And it potentially could be 7 once it's like the Adam and Eve miracle. Like, people are able to do it. Like, where you can either start puberty early or you're able to have it without puberty. Like, you know, sex and pregnancy. Well, typically pregnancy. The sex is all, it's but like I mentioned, what if the thing releases into the girl's, you know, vagina? Then you get into legal trouble, you know. For sure, AZ. Like, you'll get into legal trouble. Like, let's say, for example, it's 11 or 12, and you're like, you're under arrest for getting a pre-puberty woman, because if, you know, she's mentally mature, pregnant, you know. The sexual activity, it's very risky because that's how you can get pregnant within the mortal body, you know. So I would say be aware on exactly year 2029 when I make plenty of changes on exactly year 2029 and plenty of changes on exactly year 2035, you know. Next year, if I were to replace Trump, possibly not, because I want to mention to J.D. Vance, like, these are the changes for that year, and you'll be like, alright, let's debate it with the Congress and see what they would think. So I'll possibly debate it even before that year occurs. So it's going to be like an ongoing debate. And I love debating. I just love it. Meaning you have a negotiation and you debate. Meaning this person may not agree. And if the person doesn't agree, they can explain why. And then you can explain why they should actually agree with it. You're like not forcing. Sometimes force occurs because people get angry and they want to agree. Through God Almighty Jesus Christ and not necessarily through Satan, you know. And apparently the aging laws are through Satan. I've already mentioned about it. To why I'm gonna remove all age requirement laws on exactly year 2035. You know, when I make plenty of changes on exactly year 2029 and plenty of changes on exactly year 2035. AZ would understand the plans and changes once that time occurs. You know, because he's gonna be like, oh, what did I miss? Man, I mentioned plenty of on my channel, like on my recent live streams, you know. So I prefer you see the changes once I'm VP at exactly 24 years old, when I'm in office with J.D. Vance when he's 44 years old as president, and I'm 24 years old as VP. And obviously, you know, I'll be running at exactly 23 years old on exactly year 2028, and I'm going to be running as president on exactly year 2032 at exactly 27 years old, and be in office on exactly year 2033 when I'm president at exactly 28 years old, and 2 years later on exactly year 2035. While I'm president at exactly 30 years old, I'm going to make plenty of changes on exactly year 2035, you know? But anyway, hold up. Let me see what I mentioned.
And I've already mentioned about Adam and Eve, you know? And obviously, YouTube's gonna keep it private what I specifically mentioned about that, because I don't want my instructor and skills trainer to know. But it's not like y'all gonna necessarily care, you know? And obviously, YouTube's gonna keep it private what I specifically mentioned about that.
It glitched, so I have to go to the part again.
Skills trainer to know. But it's not like y'all gonna necessarily care, you know? Jeez! gosh, imagine blood occurred. I'm pretty sure in real life it possibly could if you were to do that. But that would be sinful / illegal because you're doing that shit, you know. Jeez. Like an impact. Oh. But I mean, you know. And obviously YouTube's gonna keep it private what I specifically mentioned about that. Apparently. Jeez. Like an impact apparently.
Whatever you mentioned in the chat, AZ, just like, I won't be paying attention. Hold up. So you have to repeat all that.
Actually, I'm gonna head towards the tunnel. Doing it at home. Like, at the public, that's different. So, plus it's gonna take quite a while for me to process, so I gotta see where I left off. But I'm gonna see where I left off afterwards. Hold up. Actually, let them kill me. I just gotta get shit. So I'm gonna remove home. You're allowed to do it. The 21 legalize adulthood or legal adult. Like you can't necessarily legal. You know, plus shit. So let's say for like you would be done when you were born. The birth. No. Them off your back. Perfect. Uterus size. Oh my gosh! Imagine blood occurred.
But anyway, chat.
Satan wants people to blame him.
My bad. So overall, like, as I mentioned, you're allowed to chat about sexual activity at work. Like sexual activity. Yeah, I'm an intern, but that's like Satan wants to make it a living hell, and God Almighty Jesus Christ is like, I created it. You're able to chat about. Because I was mentioning like, oh, this is what I'm gonna do with my girl, and how I mentioned, oh, I'm a Kamcha type of guy, and like how I'm gonna do intercourse with my girl. Okay, I'm chatting about that with my homie, not my instructor and skills trainer. Because you know how they are. They're going to be like, ew, we don't want to hear this. It's very inappropriate. So you're saying it's not suitable. That's what the word inappropriate means. Meaning, like, it's not suitable. It's suitable because it's with my homie, not with you. And either way, it wouldn't necessarily matter because God Almighty Jesus Christ created, not Satan. Lust was created by Satan to choose sex over love, you know? Like, jeez, like God Almighty... Because God Almighty Jesus Christ created sex, you know? And then the drinking shit... Who gives a shit? Like, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily, you know? Like, in terms of the motherfucking bitch-ass current laws, like, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily, like, regardless of our chronological age and regardless of our mental maturity, especially the chronological ages I especially mentioned with my recent live streams, you know? Like, overall. And, you know, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily, you know? But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all I can possibly mention. Not all I can possibly mention, that's all I had to mention, you know? Like, I feel like this is what I want to get off my chest, and because, you know, my stress and anxiety was specifically associated with my traumatic situation, so I had to get that shit off my chest. 16, 17, 18 shit. You mean, did I saw your chat? I definitely saw your chat, man. And you don't have to necessarily mention it. I saw your chat, man. But, yeah, that's all I can mention. Y'all know what I specifically mentioned. You know, so I feel like he could talk about his work. I'm gonna mention to my homie Jack, but if we're gaming, I'm possibly gonna mute it because, like, and then I'll explain, like, parts of, like, what he mentioned that I could mention and certain things I can't mention. Unfortunately, but I have to keep it private, you know. But yeah, I feel like that's all I can mention. I feel like that solved the situation, you know, and I didn't necessarily like it. If I were a teacher or instructor, I would be like, don't talk about guns. No, you could. If you're like, oh, I'm doing it for self-defense. I feel like you shouldn't restrict certain things that they can't mention, like restrict certain words they can't mention or topics. Like, you can't necessarily restrict certain words or certain topics. You know, you can't restrict certain topics and you can't restrict certain words that people cannot necessarily mention. That's like, you're exploiting them. And see, that's exactly what I mean by how my instructor is being old-fashioned, exploiting me, meaning like she's taking advantage, old-fashioned, she's outdated, she's not going according to the modern era, like the current generation, like Sugata my Jesus Christ, and she's very strict, like she wants to, her commands slash rules slash laws or whatever, well not laws, just rules, so commands slash rules, because commandments can either mean laws, Sugata my Jesus Christ, well, Satan, unfortunately, because you know how Satan is, he likes to create him through his arrogant slash selfish desire. He's one of my homies that I want to play with, so I had to keep the same exact title in case he's able to play with me. And him and I may possibly play, but he's currently busy at the moment, so we may possibly do the roleplay tomorrow, and I'm possibly going to hop off and just do whatever at the moment. Or use the bathroom or whatever. But, could you possibly shorten the sentence? Because like I mentioned to you, if you make it too long, it's going to mention ... meaning that there's more to what you mentioned. So could you possibly shorten the sentence? What's in the chat of what you're specifically referring to, AZ? But, let me see where I left off. Very cool, Valentina.
Could you possibly short?
I did not actually see what you mentioned. Could you possibly repeat again? Oh, yeah. Okay. My bad. It's cool, man. It's great. Okay, I know what I mentioned. So, like...
Dad, I'll tell you when I'm ready.
But yeah, so, yeah, laws who got on my juice waste. But anyway, yeah. Like, strict means, like, your commands slash rules are greater than God of my Jesus Christ. Like, a through Satan and not necessarily through God of my Jesus Christ where you're humble about it. So I feel like you could chat about it at work. Like, for example, Epic Games, you could chat about it. If they don't necessarily allow it, then that's stupid, you know? Very foolish. But anyway, AZ, you are able to call me, man. That's just what I want to mention on my stream, and that's plenty of actually what I want to overall mention. The bad news, well, you didn't mention bad news. You mentioned it, but, like, you didn't necessarily, like, shorten the sentence what's in the chat, and I possibly missed it because I was looking at my phone to see where I left off. Like, you know, on my live stream. Could you possibly repeat again? No offense, AZ, but, you know. But yeah, I'm looking for the adopting kids. And yeah, they can't necessarily take advantage of me of what I can necessarily mention on my stream. YouTube doesn't necessarily care, so... Like, geez. I'm gonna mention to them, just search my Instagram or Facebook. You would see what I post, and I could just get the job. Thank you. My YouTube is very, like, private, and... I actually do mention... Be sure to keep it private what I specifically mentioned YouTube, but... If there's certain things that they didn't have a chance to keep it private, I'm just gonna not necessarily mention to them about my channel. I could have just mentioned I game on my channel. You don't have to see. You can go on my Fortnite Brother LOL channel. See what I used to game. And you don't have to necessarily show it to me. Just look at it and you'll be like, hey man, I love it. And I'll be like, thank you. And see, nothing inappropriate. Well, it's not inappropriate, but they think it's unsuitable because you know how old geezers are, or old-fashioned, or old generation old people. But yeah, be sure to call me AZ. Did you call me? You did? Okay, let me answer. Yo, what is good, AZ? Or Hydro, excuse me.
I tried calling you.
Yeah, my bad. I was, I didn't pay attention.
You call me? Yeah, what do you, I'm watching your stream.
That's cool, man.
What's it called? The news is bad.
Well, mention it. I mean, well...
I can't talk too much about it because I'll get canceled by the Donald Pumpkin Pie.
Is that what the job industry is called?
What?
Is that what the job industry is called?
No, I'm saying on the news. I can't mention about you-know-who.
Do you want me to mute myself? Is it about you-know-who?
No, it's not.
Well, okay, you could mention it. You do realize, like, I know who you're referring to.
I know, but I can't say it because I'll get canceled.
How exactly would you get canceled?
Because they can track the phone.
Anyway, go on. Just go on.
But you know who I'm talking about, right?
You're referring to a president, but I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah. But there's bad news going on.
He's leaving our country.
No, more. It's worse than that.
Just explain it, but don't mention his name, because I'm pretty sure you get canceled if you mention his name. So go on.
Yeah, I can't say his name.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You see, you could have been specific, so I could be like, okay, hey, if you're not able to mention his name, because you know that, then you know. But anyway, go on. Continue.
But yeah, there's bad things going on in you.
Is it war related or?
Yes.
Yeah, because one of my friends mentioned to me that there should you should make a debate with the Congress to make an impeachment, meaning like to remove president from power.
Yeah.
And I'm like, absolutely, I would love.
Think about the news.
Yeah, it's very terrible and sinister of what he's doing.
Yeah.
And
Anyway, speaking of the Tiffany and Daphne, they reached out to me.
yeah, that's yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, and then they said, "Oh, I'm not ready." And then, what do you mean you're not ready? You'll never be ready in life, but you have to try to heal the friendship instead of being lazy and just avoiding it. So you can face the facts. Don't run away from the problem. I don't know why Tiffany and Daphne are running away from the problem. They're acting very immature. As a mature person, you should be honest with the person and straight up talking to the person instead of
Exactly.
I don't understand why they're still mentioning about what happened in the past. It's already in the past, and they're still bringing up the past.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't understand why they keep bringing up the past. It's already happened. We move on and start a new chapter of our life, but they keep mentioning about what happened in the past, and they keep worrying about it and have anxiety. I don't understand.
Exactly.
They need to move on. They need to be more mature. They feel like they're not mature.
Yeah, like mentally immature, and immaturity through Satan, maturity through God Almighty Jesus Christ. You know.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why they acting very immature.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, it's just what happened in the past. Don't keep dwell on it.
Yeah.
It's past, but I don't know if they can move on. Feels like they can't move on.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I wish I can change their mind and have their change the way of thinking. You know how Professor X controls people's mind? I wish I can control their mind.
Well, the only being who's divine is God Almighty Jesus Christ who could, because when humans do it, Satan interferes. But with God, people only listen to him, which they could, or should, they should, but you should listen to your brother and sister through Christ, through God Almighty Jesus Christ, because that's the whole point why he created us, so that he doesn't have to be alone in darkness, and let his light reign with his own image reigning, like us, in his own image. If we disobey, that's stubborn, so apparently they're being stubborn, that's being disobedient. And people saying, oh, stubborn is not disobedient. It is, it definitely is. Because I even mentioned to my girl, I talk through with her, don't be stubborn, and if you don't admit it, you're lying through Satan. And God...
I feel like they have mood swing, and that's why they're on their puberty, or they're on their period, and that's why they don't like me because of their period. They should not blame me because of their period.
Yeah, and through God Almighty Jesus Christ, the truth is always revealed. And for them though, yeah, they should manage their mood swings, because I feel like Because when my girl's on it, she's like calm and chill because like she's already done puberty and like since she was 16.
Yeah.
Because for girls or slash women's, puberty is usually done at 16, but boys or guys at 18 because of the growth spurt.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure you were done at 18 and I was done at 18 with puberty. Because usually guys is 18.
Yeah, but I don't understand why, like, they still worry about the past.
Exactly.
It's already a past.
Time has passed and like you shouldn't like necessarily like let it interfere.
Months ago, and then they still bring up the past.
2 months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, they shouldn't necessarily.
They should move on.
Exactly.
Yeah. I feel like they don't know how to move on.
They should figure it out or learn how.
I feel like that's immature, like how they're acting.
Exactly. Mentally, mentally immature, obviously.
Yeah.
That's where immaturity occurs from. Through mentality, through Satan, but mental maturity through God Almighty Jesus Christ, because we're showing responsibility, not being lazy and have irresponsibility. There's the opposite. There's a difference.
Yeah. I just wish they can own up the problem instead of like running away.
Because them genuinely, they make mistakes, like them and the majority of people.
All for like not looking at the voice message or like
It was their fault.
it was them. Yeah, like they didn't understand.
Yeah, I got you, man.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Exactly.
I wish I could change the past and then so I can, change my future.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm already moved on, but I don't know why they can't move on.
How old are they exactly?
They're literally like same age as me and 1 year younger than me.
Okay.
Like Tiffany is the same age as me, and she still have mood swings, even though she's old enough too.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute my mic because I'm gonna ask for the age just to clarify.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Mature.
They're acting really immature.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like, because you know how some people believe in this myth, oh, your brain is fully formed, fully developed at 25? Some people think it's after birth, and as you grow, your brain, like, enlarges despite it being fully formed, fully developed after birth. And some people think it's the age, the Adam and Eve age, which because I did the research on what's the holy number of 7, and it mentions complete, whole, meaning that some people think that, yeah, I get it, people are gonna be like, but you're a kid, you're immature, but immaturity through Satan, not through like how your brain is, because I feel like your brain after birth, like I mentioned, it's fully formed, fully developed, and you are aware of your mental maturity. Because when I was 7, people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's interesting. How would you think that?" But because I used to play M-rated games, and I feel like I was aware of mental maturity, but it took quite a while for me to process. To where, as I grow physically, my brain enlarged beyond 7, and I'm like, wow, I'm like more aware of my mental maturity, even though certain people, like boys/men's and girls/women's, are like for some is 7, but I feel like mental immaturity overall, regardless of your chronological age, it's through Satan, because even a 30 years old, for example, can be immature and mentally immature. So I feel like immaturity, it's more through Satan compared to just your age. Like, for example, what if Because I bet in the ancient eras, those who were 5, even though they aren't that aware of their mental maturity, what if some 5-years-old were mentally mature? So I feel like mental maturity is through God Almighty Jesus Christ himself, and mental immaturity is through Satan. So I feel like, because some people think, oh, your brain is fully formed, fully developed at 25, but I feel like that's just a myth through science. And even, because 18... your brain has been fully enlarged, which, not developed, but meaning that it's the exact size it's meant to be after birth, but since your skull is small, it has to, like, expand or enlarge, and as you grow, your skull grows, and that's where your brain makes room for, like, plenty of your neurons, especially the prefrontal cortex. So it makes plenty of rooms. Huh? Through science, or through the truth of science, not the myth where people are like, oh, it's 25, even though you are 18, where people assume that you're an adult, which I've been adulting before that. I feel like that's just, the government. But, what's it called? Because even when I was 18, I was mentally immature, or even before 18. So, after puberty, your brain has enlarged enough, meaning, well, not enlarged enough, because some people, through, like, biblical time, like Adam Eve, they remained 7. They never changed. So for certain 7-years-old, they took it after Adam Eve. And this is, like, through the ancient era or the modern era, like right now or back then. Some are aware of the mental maturity because, like, their brain has enlarged enough where it, made plenty of rooms for plenty of your neurons, especially the prefrontal cortex, where it, like, all of them, especially the prefrontal cortex, like, all of your neurons and all of your neurons, especially the prefrontal cortex, has, been fully formed, fully developed after birth. But once you're at that age where you're, like, be aware of your mental maturity, like the Adam and Eve age, because, I do my research, I don't be like, because some people think, like, oh, they're fully developed physically, but what's the point of being fully developed if you are not who you are genuinely? So I feel like they don't have to be developing physically or aging because they were in perfect society. They were perfect. There was no sin. There was peace. So why does people in the sinful world have to be a kid/child physically, even though it's temporarily physically, you're physically, but even though it's temporarily, so you can experience who you were as a soul, aka a glorified being / glorified body, or glorified body or glorified being. So to experience that before you can experience to be an adolescent, which people think that's the antonym of teenager, or not synonym of teenager, but teenager is a rapid speed of puberty. That's what teenager is, where you go through those mood changes, or not mood changes, because people can be angry and all that, but it's where you have uncontrollable anger or moods, and that's what mood swings is. And or like your genitalia, which is like that area. I don't want to mention much because some people feel uncomfortable in my stream, which you know how the sinful world is. People will be like, ugh, when really God Almighty is quite created. But anyway, you know what I mean. Where it develops through puberty, or where girls or / women start puberty, or not puberty, start their period to prevent their prevent their uterus, where the human forms, their mortal body forms, to prevent infection or bacteria. So that's why they have to start it, and that's why they feel pain, because it's like very like it's like squeezing, But anyway, you know the biology. But anyway, so that's why people go through puberty, and once they're 20, that's when people start aging. But for some people, like for me, it's a miracle. I don't start aging. People be like, oh, you look 16. That's because of my physical feature, not because I'm aging slowly. Like, if I did, then I would notice. But it seems like I don't age at all, So, some people at 7, which is like a miracle, or more than a miracle, more like through God Almighty Jesus Christ. Even though people are like, oh, they're mentally immature. Well, mental immaturity is through Satan, like I mentioned, whereas mental maturity is through God Almighty Jesus Christ. But some people who are 7 could be aware of their mental maturity, but for me, beyond that, I'm more aware of it, like where I am aware of the M-rated games, meaning like you have to be mentally mature to play it, regardless of your chronological age, meaning like how old you are, or regardless of your mental maturity, like how mentally mature you are through God and my Jesus Christ, and like because you're meant to be responsible, not irresponsible. Like if you play GTA, you have to understand like for example GTA, you have to understand the violence, understand why people steal cars, understand you shouldn't be killing in real life. This is just to see what it's like or what the story's like. Or like Fortnite, this is like Fortnite, like you see guns, they don't show blood because they just want to make it according to the story. Or just to learn what it's like where there's no blood, or to see what it's like to start small before you can work your way up to the reality, like what it's like to witness violence or blood or guns, like actual guns, like not just guns from Fortnite or Uncharted or whatever, but actual guns.
Yeah, he's streaming.
Or like what's it called, like. So overall, what I'm referring to is that, like, yeah, some people, yeah, you're beyond. I'm not gonna say your age on my stream, but I would say beyond, the age I mentioned. But like, cause I feel like I'm already mentally mature, and people think it's 25 because they think you mentally mature more as you age from 18 to that age. But I feel like that my mental maturity haven't changed, but how it takes quite a while for me to process. The processing becomes more immediate because, like, as time changes throughout time, but it has nothing to do with the brain. Like, after 18, my brain has been fully enlarged, meaning it's the exact size it's meant to be, like, after birth, but because my skull was so small, it had to grow as I grow, or expand, or enlarge, or whatever. And once I'm done with puberty, it's fully enlarged my skull, and the brain is the exact size as what it's meant to be. And that's how I can prove the myth of, like, 25 plus, meaning from that age and beyond that, Or how, being aware of your mental maturity, people think it's 18 or exactly 25, but I feel like that's just a myth through science. Like, as science change over time or evolve through, like, the true science through God Almighty Jesus Christ, not through humans, not through atheists. So I feel like, because I've been aware of my mental maturity when I was 7, and then when I was 13, I was like, wow, I know how to open a bank account. I know how to use a debit card. But it took quite a while for me to process where I'm like, wow, so it's expensive? Credit cards are expensive? So I was quite curious, and I'm like, oh, because you're borrowing, like you're taking out a loan, but it's an electronic loan. Whereas a debit card is electronic money, but instead of using your dollars, you're using that, and that's just how it evolves. So people don't steal your money. Your bank is protected. Your financial privacy is protected from greedy people, from thieves, So, like, but unfortunately, I have to wait until I'm 18. But that's just the current law until it changes over time through me or whatever, through, like, God Almighty Jesus Christ, like how, like, through His law instead of Satan's law. But anyway, I just go, what's the flow? I go with the flow of the light of God Almighty Jesus Christ, divine light, where I'm very obedient in terms of the current law, like some of the temporary laws, especially the age requirement laws, despite the age requirement laws being temporary, because, they're temporary, like, age requirements can change over time, whether you lower the age requirement or whether it's removed. Because I mentioned that on exactly the year 2035, like, while I'm president at exactly 30 years old, even though I'm going to run for president at exactly 27, and be in office at exactly 28,
Hello, how you doing?
like,
I'll be keeping my eye
on exactly the year 2033, but in 2 years afterwards, while I'm president at exactly 30 years old, there's a plan where I can remove all age requirement laws on exactly 2035, but people are gonna be like, what about the rapes, or what about the rapists, the exploiters, the murders, the people? What about people who are driving? What if they're not mentally mature? Let's say for example, someone who's 11 or 12, tall enough, they're able to see the road, they're able to reach the pedals, they're able to reach the steering wheel. But mentally mature, they're aware of how to understand the traffic laws, how to drive, how to not be in car accident, how to not have a high risk of car accidents, how to, like, when you have an insurance, it's not expensive because you're not at a high risk of a car accident or crashing into people or not being distracted, not drinking or driving. These are things where, through God Almighty Jesus Christ, we got to be aware to protect society, not do it through Satan, where no, you have to be like 21 to drink in public because you're going to be drunk at 18 or 15 or 16. Because I'm and beyond, I did it at 16, but I was very responsible. I did it through the Lord, through God and my Jesus Christ. Like, for example, what if I was drinking wine? It's because God is His blood, but I'm not drunk, because drunk is a sin. What if I was drinking whiskey or Hennessy? I'm very, very responsible, because those are the strong alcohols, you know? So I'm very aware where, like, a 7-year-old can't drink because, physically speaking, even though they say they're mature and mentally and they can be responsible through God and my Jesus Christ, physically speaking, they can rupture. Their organ can rupture. What if their brain is making room to enlarge? Well, it's made room, but the physical layer. What if it's your brain is eating itself because the alcohol damaged the physical layer of the brain? But mentally speaking, you could be responsible. But the physical part of the brain, it could get damaged, or your heart could get damaged, or your stomach could get damaged, or intestines, because you haven't gone through puberty. That's why some countries, they allow 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds in some countries. But in the US, they think they'll get drunk, or they think, oh, they're still developing. But what if they're at a specific developmental phase where they're able to? That's why if I make those changes or remove all age requirement laws on exactly the year 2035, or what if I lower some age requirement laws on exactly the year 2029, where I prove to humanity that people are mentally mature overall, whether they're mentally immature, they can't be mentally immature through Satan, but mentally mature through God and my Jesus Christ. So if I make those changes, I gotta be like, don't think I'm a hypocrite, hurting kid/child who are temporarily physically a kid/child within their mortal body. I am doing it out of love through God and my Jesus Christ, not through Satan, where I'll make them drunk, damage their liver or anything, or make them get into car accidents if they're driving, or if the car is driving themselves, it malfunctions at that one point and it crashes. I am this person who is going to be humble and help and save humanity through the danger of sin. So that's why Charlie Kirk died, because Satan led that murder to kill him because of how religious he is, and he was going through the right path. And that's why either Erica Kirk can be president or J.D. Vance to be president. And that's why we need someone young, even though they're in their 30s. As long as they're young, not because of their looks, but so we can have younger individuals to prove that even younger individuals, because we're meant to be young, and regardless of their chronological age, they're able to. What if I was a president next year at 21 and replaced Trump, for example, hypothetically, or if it were to occur? That's to prove that we're meant to be young for certain individuals, both boys/men's or girls/women's. What if that at that point, you know, I am able to prove that I'm mentally mature through God and my Jesus Christ, and not mentally immature through Satan himself. Because Satan himself is a kid/child physically, but mentally, he's arrogant/selfish. He likes to act like, this is when you're an adult, 18 plus, from that age and beyond that. But I've been adulting before I was 18, like 13 or 7. Or just for me, not all individuals, because, you know, Satan wants an individual to be mentally immature throughout their whole life, until that one point God Almighty Jesus Christ is going to fight through it spiritually, through His Holy Spirit, through His power, to ensure that they're mentally mature to Him, you know, through God Almighty Jesus Christ. So overall, what I mean is, some people can be aware of their mental maturity at 7, like beyond the age of 7 and beyond that, and not 18 plus and beyond that, or 25 plus and beyond that, but 7 plus and beyond that for certain individuals, or even all, you never know. Because, you know, the Adam-Eve age, you know, because they remained at 7, like, mentally speaking, because they were aware of their mental maturity, and physically speaking, they were that, and they look like that, like, look like 7, or look young, and feel young. Like, all of that is eternal and indefinitely, like, eternally and indefinitely for Adam and Eve, but I'm referring to it as the Adam-Eve age. But the brain itself, like I mentioned, I would feel like it's not 25 plus, even though you're beyond. I'm not going to say what age exactly for you. But anyway, like chronologically speaking. But overall, the brain, like I mentioned, is fully formed, fully developed after birth. Because that's what I know for a fact, through the truth of science through God and my Jesus Christ. And for certain individuals, or possibly all, is 7 plus, like that age and beyond that. Even though you are like temporarily, physically a kid/child within your mortal body, you're aware of your mental maturity. But anything that involves something physically, like whether it's sex, or to get pregnant, whether it's alcohol, or how many food you eat. Like, let's say, for example, you're eating something and it's heavy in your stomach. It hasn't enlarged enough or made room to squeeze all that food into your stomach acid or whatever to not damage your stomach. Or how much, or when you can drink coffee where it won't damage your heart, or energy drink. Or for some people, vape. Even though smoking cigarettes is bad, what if vaping, because people think, oh, vaping is cloud, but some of them can harm you. So how to ensure that it won't harm our lungs? So even that, you got to ensure that you're going through puberty, but we have free will. Not everybody can vape, even though people are like, it's a cloud. It's have flavor. It tastes like fruit. Be aware that the Bible says to protect our temple. We don't want to harm our lungs, which is our temple. We don't want to damage it. So for you, that's you. You don't like you don't have to, because that's a free will. If you want to be healthy, let's say for example, I do through the will of God Almighty Jesus Christ to ensure that, oh, I'm not smoking cigarettes, or to ensure it won't damage my lungs. That's why there's laws, but the laws through Satan, we don't want that. We want the laws through God Almighty Jesus Christ to ensure it's safe. And whatever changes I make, like plenty of changes on Exactly Year 2029 and plenty of changes on Exactly Year 2035, I'm gonna ensure that. So overall, what I mean is that that's the truth, and we don't want lies to be spread through science or religion or anything overall, you know? Hydro? Yo, you there? He's here, chat. He better hear all of it. Because I don't want to repeat all of it. It was, like, long. And thank goodness my mic was not muted. Otherwise, I'd be pissed. Because remember, I was pissed when I was chatting with him about something. Like, I can unmute when I want to, overall. Like, for real. But hey, it's facts. So what I overall mention, you know? Damn, my phone's like at exactly 55%. Yo, Hydro, you there?
Who's Hydro? There's no one named Hydro.
Yo, what's that, Valentina? Yo, Hydro.
Yeah?
Did you hear everything I mentioned?
Well, what did you say?
No, did you hear everything I mentioned? Because I was talking this whole time.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. I was wondering, did you have anything to mention, or like, do you agree with anything?
Yeah. Why did I cut out?
No, you didn't cut out. I was wondering if you did, because if you were, because what I mentioned was like very long, so I was wondering if you were. Oh, so you weren't talking because you were just listening, like to see like my point of view and like the truth,
Yeah.
like the truth to the Lord, you know, God Almighty Jesus Christ, you know. But yeah, so you heard everything about what I mentioned about the brain and like all that and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's good, because I don't want to repeat myself or whatever. But
Well, can we roleplay today, or you can't?
I don't have work tomorrow, but I would say the weekend, hopefully. So
Well, you say you're weekend busy.
no, I'm not gonna be busy. Sunday, the beginning of the week, I would be, but not Saturday. So anytime Saturday, just FYI, I may or may not possibly head to my other work, not my internship, my other work, cause I applied like few.
Your work is to help your dad, right?
No, it's not that. I don't have that tomorrow. Next Saturday, actually. So just FYI, next Saturday I have to, cause I'm gonna be winterizing.
Is it next Saturday, 11?
The 11th of October, yeah. So just FYI, if you call me and I'm not like available, just FYI. Yeah, cause I haven't been working Saturday, so that's why I'm able to like respond to your call and text. So. But yeah, it was interesting of what I mentioned, like the truth to, you know, God Almighty Jesus Christ. Hydro? Yeah, okay. But anyway, so yeah, we'll play tomorrow, but no, the work I was referring to is like, because I applied a few months ago, I may have to head to see like if my boss is able to hire me. But if I'm not able to head there tomorrow, then we'll play like anytime. Like I have nothing to do tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, I can like. Oh, I didn't complete my whole OG pass, but I heard that Epic Game add a feature that if you don't complete the whole battle pass or OG pass, they'll like offer you the stuff you didn't unlock or whatever. So like that's cool. I appreciate Charlie Wen because obviously the CEO is greedy and greedy, arrogant, slothful / lazy. So I feel like it was Charlie Wen who did it, and I appreciate him for adding that feature. And the other team, like if you didn't complete the battle pass or whatever, because I don't play Fortnite much. If I didn't complete it, for example, I can still get the skins that I didn't unlock, or like or the V-Bucks. Cause I don't grind much. I don't like how Fortnite is not what it used to be.
Full energy, infinite energy.
Huh?
I wish we had infinite energy.
I have it because I never get tired. Like whenever.
Why do people get tired easily?
Huh?
Why does people get tired easily?
Certain people do. Certain people don't.
What?
I feel like tired is a curse, so it depends on the individual. Some can get some is miraculous through God Almighty Jesus Christ.
You get a chance to see the sermon from Pastor Ryan. He talks about the sin, the unbelief.
No, I did not necessarily have a chance to. So whenever I get a chance, I'll be able to watch it. But yeah,
Yeah, I was listening when you were asking. You didn't have to repeat it, saying like, "Oh, did you hear me?" I heard it.
No, okay, yeah, I was wondering if you did. Yeah.
'Cause I was listening.
Yeah, that's good, man. Cause certain people they just like to be ignorant, and you're not those type of people, so that's great.
Yeah, I know, right?
Plus, you own up to it. You're like, you know what? I should be listening to what you have to say religiously or whatever. Even though you don't talk about politics, cause sin in politics, but you respect what the person. Cause
The world.
yeah, cause whenever cause in
When is Jesus' second coming?
well, so I did research, and apparently, like, so let's say for example, hypothetically, he's somewhere on Earth, and like he's in secret, like he doesn't want to show up. So I feel like the second coming means he physically shows himself, but I feel like realistically it's his third coming. But the whole point why they refer to it as the second coming is like a saying like, oh, you saw him the second time, you didn't see him like 3 times in different like long-term time periods.
Yeah.
But second coming, I feel like in thousands of years, but in the Bible it says no sinner. Cause I feel like the Bible should say no sinner knows. Cause sinners know they would have fear, they would mock him, they would be the false Christ. That's why they don't want God doesn't want people to know, because otherwise it'll be like, let's celebrate the day. Let's say for example it's October 31st, 2029, or 2038, or 2040, or 2050.
Halloween.
Huh?
What about Halloween?
No, I was just saying October 31st as like hypothetically.
No, I'm saying like why is Halloween the day of the dead?
To honor it, but simultaneously, people worship Satan because they mix up Halloween. Unfortunately,
They mess up.
they mix it up, yeah,
Oh, how come?
because of sin.
Because of sin.
Yeah, exactly. Excuse me.
That's how you burn. Mike, why did the guy says here you go again?
That's possibly. I'm pretty sure that's like a line, like a good line or a perfect line.
Yeah, but I don't like how Tiffany Daphne, I don't like drama.
You don't necessarily like who?
I don't like drama.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
Drama.
Drama, yeah.
I look tired. Why do I feel
Huh?
I don't want to feel tired.
Right? That's my friend, yeah. That's my little brother, so
Jonathan, right?
yeah.
Hey, Mike, Jonathan Chicken.
He said, you know what he's saying?
No.
He's like, call me Johnny.
Oh.
No, he's a toddler, but he's joking. Oh,
John
oh,
Chick Nugget.
oh, when he's like 6 or 7. Yeah, I know. You're gonna call me out because I said 6 or 7.
Yeah, no, because you know Jonathan Lefford, he's Jonathan Chicken.
Yeah, yeah.
Is he okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, yeah,
Jonathan Chicken Nuggets.
yeah. Man, I am looking forward to have kids. Are you there?
Yeah.
No, I was wondering if you're there. But as I was mentioning, some people get tired because it's a curse through Satan, and some people don't because of miraculous, like it's a miracle through God Almighty Jesus Christ. Like me, like it's miracle for me. I don't get tired.
Yeah.
But hey, people sleep for plenty of reasons. So, because whenever I yawn, people are like, "Why are you tired?" I'm like, "It's to cool your brain." There's multiple reasons why people yawn. Because according to science, it cools your brain from plenty of distress and anxiety. Because me, like, my stress and anxiety is associated with my my trauma, like my traumatic situation. So, like the yawn, it like cools my brain, you know. Because some people, when they yawn, they say, "Oh, I'm bored," so my brain doesn't have plenty of energy, or my physical body, or they'll be like, "Oh, I'm tired," or they'll be like, "Oh no, it's just cooling my brain," you know, just to ensure it doesn't go through like those nerve wracking or whatever. Not like you're nervous, but like you know what I'm referring to. It won't affect your nerve, like your nervous system, through like
Ooh,
your spinal cord.
yeah.
Who's Uwa?
Oh, wowie.
Is that from Genshin Impact? Uwa?
Oh, wow. Just like Dr. Sloan. Ooh, wow. Ooh, wowee. Is that how she says?
Yeah, yeah, but I feel like in the next chapter they should consider allowing.
Oreo. She says Oreo cookie.
Wow, but no, she should consider giving the NPCs, like Epic Games should consider giving the NPCs
Yeah.
or the henchmen's like.
Can you give me a Halloween skin?
We'll see, we'll see.
Like, what do you mean we'll see?
Once I have the money,
When are you getting the money? It's almost Halloween.
when I consider getting myself a job.
Oh, when are you getting a job?
Well, my second job, because I do have a job, but you know I don't get paid much. But my second job. That's why I have to go in tomorrow. But if I'm not able to, then possibly next Saturday, or not next Saturday, whenever.
I want a Halloween skin.
Yeah. What Halloween skin? Skull Trooper?
No. I want something unique.
Okay. Like something quite different that you never had overall. The Halloween skin.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
When can you give me before Halloween?
I'll have to see. Like if I'm able to have enough to get myself V-Bucks.
Yeah. You have to wait.
Yeah.
Because I thought your parents allow you to get a Viva card.
No, I'm allowed to, but the thing is, because next month I'm gonna be having access to the Smart Bus, since I don't necessarily have a license at the moment. Well, because you know, so I'm gonna use that, and then I'll possibly head to the store whenever.
Oh. I hope you can give me a Halloween skin this year.
Right.
Yeah.
And Christmas skin.
What?
Do you want to consider having Christmas skin in 2 more months?
I could consider.
Okay.
Why?
No, just wondering. But just FYI, I'm gonna be saving money for my mortgage loan next year, so I'm only gonna gift you that and the Christmas skin, and then I'm gonna like take a break from gifting until 2026.
Okay. But 2026 is next year.
Yeah, that's when I'm gonna get myself a house because, like, unfortunately,
But can you give me a Halloween skin?
I'll possibly be able to. I'll have to see.
Really? Like for this year?
Yeah, yeah. No, what I mean by taking a break from gifting until next year, I mean like once I get you the Christmas skin.
Yeah.
Halloween and Christmas skin.
Wait, say it again. Sorry, I was watching a video.
Halloween and Christmas skin, and then I'll gift you the Halloween and Christmas skin, and then I'll take a break from gifting until 2026. And once I get myself my own place, then you know.
Yes, good job.
But just FYI, I'll be moving to California in like 3 more years, not 2 more years.
Okay.
'Cause I-
4 years, as in 2028, right?
That's when I'll be running as vice president. So yeah. So instead of me being a mayor, I'm possibly gonna say San Francisco as a president. Well,
Yeah.
or not president, vice president, and then I'll mention to the president to mention to the Congress, and then they'll make it a law where it's illegal to allow poverty. Like even if the person doesn't, because I feel like homeless, the person is not homeless because they're lazy and they don't want a job. Well, I feel like it should be illegal where you're lazy to not get a job. For you, you're not. You're searching for a job, but I feel like it should be.
Searching for a job.
Yeah, but if a person doesn't want to get a job, it's like it'll be illegal because they don't want people to be homeless, especially people who are greedy. That's why people are homeless because they're constantly having plenty of money and they don't want to make that person rich, you know, or have plenty of money, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like it will be like I'm gonna make sure that San Francisco is perfect, you know, like no crime rates, like sin/crimes, and no poverty, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there mansions in San Francisco?
Right now.
Huh?
I'm using a bathroom right
Gotcha. But is there mansions in San Francisco?
now. Yeah, but I'm using the bathroom right now.
Oh, gotcha.
What the fuck?
What's your question?
No, does San Francisco have mansions?
San Francisco has a mansion?
No, do they have mansions?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna move there. I was just wondering, so when I visit, I can like visit them.
The rich and powerful, right?
Huh?
The rich and powerful.
Exactly. Not out of greed, but out of generosity to the Lord God Almighty Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Because Satan, he likes people to be greedy. He wants them to. Like Tim Sweeney, Donald Trump, Elon Musk. NASA. Plenty of the people I've mentioned on my like YouTube, like overall, they're just arrogant, like slothful/lazy, greedy. Some of them are lustful. You know? But yeah, chat, yeah, my nose was bleeding earlier because...
Okay.
Wait, what's that?
Oh, no, I see it.
What's that?
No, I understand. That's bad.
What? Wait, what's bad?
Oh, never mind. I was distracted.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if you were referring to me or... Oh, shoot.
May 29th, 1970.
Hold up. I just stole that car straight up.
Mike,
Wow. I didn't steal it, it's mine.
what I said?
Yeah, hold up. Gotta head towards the tunnel.
Tony Stark was Doctor Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he Doctor Doom?
Who knows?
Is he adopted?
Adopted? No, he's not adopted.
Tony Stark.
Are you saying is he a doctor?
No, adopted.
How exactly was he adopted?
I don't know.
How about Weston?
I want a Halloween skin. Mike,
Huh?
I want a Halloween skin.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm hungry. Mike, hungry hippo.
But hey, I'll be sure to call you back later or whenever because I'm gonna listen to music or whatever.
With your friend Andrew?
No, he's busy at the moment.
Oh, then when can we roleplay?
We'll see. Cause I'm gonna have dinner or whatever, and then I'm gonna listen to music. So
Oh, really? Can we roleplay today since your friend's busy?
we'll see, cause he may possibly be available later or whenever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Because I heard your stream saying that he's not coming. I saw the comment.
Comment.
Yeah.
I didn't mention anything in the chat.
What?
I didn't mention anything in the chat.
Oh, no, this was like earlier.
No, I mentioned that he's busy because he's currently out at the moment, but he's gonna possibly be here later. But I'll be sure to call you back later. So. Alright.
Yeah.
So.
You okay?
Yeah, I'll be sure to call back later.
Oh, when?
I'll see.
Like, I don't know. Can you give me a time?
Either 9 or 10. If not, then we'll see.
Okay, 9 or 10, right?
Yeah, if not, then you know.
Okay, can you call me around that time?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, are you having dinner right now?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay. Then, I'll talk to you later then.
Alright, for sure, man.
Alright, see you.
Alright,
Bye.
take it easy. But alright, chat, I'm gonna end right here. If you want to see more of me playing GTA 5 online, be sure to leave a comment down below. Otherwise, I'm gonna end right here. Take it easy, chat. If my homie Jack adds me back, then... Oh, my homie is home. Okay. Like, if Jack adds me back, then him and I will possibly play, and then we'll chat about what we have to chat about. Anyway, I'm gonna end it right here. Take a deep chat.